Just after 7 o'clock because we're here with Bill Carne. Good morning, Bill.
Morning, Tom. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for braving the weather and getting up this morning if you're up. And yeah, it's a busy weekend of sport, weather permitting.
Weather permitting. Because, of course,
Yeah,
as much as we're usually plagued by boggy pitches, of course, if the ground's too hard, some fixtures can't go ahead either, can they?
yeah, that's right. I don't think there'll be many over too hard. I don't think it's that sort of frost. I hope I'm right with that. So we'll wait and see. There's some really big games on, and there's been some sport in the week, of course, because the men's cricket indoors continues apace. So there's lots going on, Tom.
There is lots going on, and there's lots that has been on as well. And we'll start actually with Haverfordwest County. Last week, they returned to the Bridge Meadow, and it was a fun time out.
Yeah, 3 wins on the trot now. I spoke briefly last night to Tony Pennock. I happened to be going by and the floodlights were on, so I called in, A, to wish the supporters club all the best with their bingo evening, and B, I just shouted across to him, well done. I said, nice hat trick. And it is everyone's hat tricks, but he's gone 3 wins on the trot now.
Yeah.
Helen Marie speaking to us, Borida, Helen Marie.
Boreda, indeed. And of course, that hat trick of wins, two of them, as I know that we've mentioned before, away from home, long distances away, and they're still picking up those wins, and they bring that form back home as well.
Yeah, that's right. There was a buzz there last night. You could see in the training, and to beat Flint away was a real achievement. Everyone expects them to beat Airbus from Broughton because they're bottom of the table, but there's still no mugs. You watch them on Scorio; they can push any team on a good day. And last week, of course, beating Pennebont, it was a bit ill-tempered. Pennebont had come expecting to win, and some of their supporters, their behaviour leaves a lot to be desired, like bringing drink into the ground when they know they're not supposed to, and then causing havoc with that. There was a few late tackles that caused a bit of mayhem, but Haverfordwest stuck to their guns, Tom. They scored 2 goals in the first half, had a
Yeah.
chance for a third. Pennebont come back late on with a penalty, much disputed, I hasten to add. But they couldn't break the Haverfordwest defence after that. And I think if Tony Pennock has given them anything, he's given them that competitive nature now. They are getting stuck into teams. So it's good.
That's really good, and that composure is going to put them in good stead because, well, there's no easy game. We were just talking about Airbus; they were bottom of the league, and they travel away again to Newtown.
Yep, Newtown are a good side. They've had a bit of a slump and they're not as high as I thought they might be at this time, but they're still a good side. And Haverfordwest travel up there on Sunday. It's interesting that all the games are on Sunday this week. It might have to do with a game elsewhere. I don't know, but yeah, they're playing away. Do you know where Newtown play? Do you know their ground?
Now I have seen this. Is it Latham Park?
Yeah, you've been doing your research because I was also going to ask you an even easier question, which is, what's their nickname and why are they called that?
Now I don't know why they're called this, but I've seen it on the things. It's the Robins, but there's not like a Robin sanctuary up there or anything, is there?
No, Tom, there's not a robin sanctuary. I can vouch for that as a keen bird lover. It's because their strip is all red. That's as simple as that.
Oh, is
They've
that, is
always
that
been
what it is?
called the robin. Yeah. So
Oh,
I'm
fair
sorry to
enough.
disavow you with that. But they're managed by Chris Hughes, and Craig Williams is the captain, a very strong defender. And they've got Louis Robles up front, or Robles. He's a key player. So we'll have to watch out for him. But just good luck to the Bluebirds. Do their best. That's all you can
Yeah.
ask them.
No, it'd be weird. You mentioned the form there of the two different sides. Haverfordwest are kind of on that momentum of staying like on that ascendancy. Newtown will be unhappy as to where they are this season. That they were challenging for top spots and they're not there this season.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then staying with the football, let's put it back to the Pembrokeshire League. Another competitive weekend of football. I was
Yeah.
just trying to look at one of my fixtures. St Clair's and Nayland. St Clair's, of course, will be disappointed after last weekend.
Yeah, vital game for both sides. It's more or less a bottom of the table clash, and it's important, and that's why it's back to normality. Tom, there's all the teams in the first division are playing league football. Haken are playing, I think, their fifth or sixth game in the season because they're so good in cup competitions. But if you look at that game, St Clair's against Nayland, that's the vital one at the bottom because both are desperate for points. And towards the top, then of course you've got Goodwick United, who are travelling, I think, this week. Let me have a look. Yeah, to Penna Robbins down at Bush
Yeah.
Camp, my old team, but we didn't play on a posh pitch like that. And the top game has to be Merlin's Bridge against Kilgetty, top versus fourth. I saw the new playing surface for the first time this week. when I was interviewing Lee Morgan there for Monday's show, and it's fantastic. So there's some good games. Carew are 8th, play St Ishmael's, who are 10th. Carew are lower than I thought they'd be. Aiken are at home to Fishguard Sports. That's 6th versus 5th, but it doesn't give you Aiken's true picture, of course. For them to be 6th isn't their position they deserve to be or will be at the end. Monkton Swifts are 3rd. They're playing well, and they're playing Clarbesson Road, who found a bit of form at last. So there's lots to play for, Tom, and let's hope we have a full programme. I'd be pleased if that happens.
Yeah, what surprises me about that list of fixtures is that Haken are 6th when they've played like half the matches.
Yeah,
It's incredible. And then your pick of the fixtures there, you just mentioned Merlin's Bridge, who are top, against Kilgetty, who are 4th. Kilgetty, of course, newly promoted.
Yeah, they've done very well. They served notice last year, if you remember. They got to the Senior Cup final. They lost there, but they beat Carew in the semi-final, who were playing really well. So it's nice to see a club developing, and they've got a great development system there, and things can only go upwards from that. Their coaches are outstanding. They've got backroom staff as good as any I know. So what they sow is good.
Yeah. And then keeping with some outdoor sports before we return to the double helping of the indoor cricket, rugby results last weekend, Bill. It was a good weekend.
It was. It was a mixture. Narberth would be disappointed to lose at home to Cross Keys, who were a place above them in the table, but who won very late on. Narberth were winning a tough game, always with Cross Keys, big physical forwards, and they lost in the last minute. Sadly, they conceded a corner try, but they've got a tough game this week, Tom. They're travelling to Pontypool Park to play Pooler.
Yeah. That's not going to be an easy fixture for them at all. But Narberth, they will be disappointed. They've been playing really well this season, and it's 2 losses now, isn't it? In relatively short period of time.
They're a good side, and they're well trained, well coached, organised. They've got some talented youngsters. They've got 2 young centres. Hayes Nichols is one of them, and Elan Phillips. And they're only pups. They're probably still teenagers. They're certainly not more than 21. At my age, they look about 15. Yeah, so it's a good time at Narberth. They've done well over the years. They're brilliant to set up there. And then in Division 1, of course, we've got a local derby of such. Whitland, who are 11th, entertain Crimmock, who are 2nd. And Crimmock will go there knowing they're going to have a battle. I'd expect Crimmock to win, but that's going to be a tough one. Gareth Bennett will have Whitland nicely wound up for that, nicely trained. And in the other game, of course, Pembroke, who haven't won a game yet and had quite a few hammerings, are at home. They couldn't get a team last week. Sadly, they're at home to Velin Vole, who are 6th. So another tough game, but good luck to Scarlets. I want to see them get a win under their belts. In Division 2, Fishguard and Goodwick are at home to Buryport, who are 4th. The Seagulls are 7th. What else have we got there? Lucha entertain Milford Haven. That's 9th versus 11th. The Mariners could win that if they played to their potential. And last but not least, Tenby United, who are 5th, play Pontyberem. If Pontyberem can get a team, they've been struggling all season so far, and they're bottom. So it'll be interesting to see, but Tenby would be fancied to win that. And in our own little Division 3 West A, although there's teams from outside now, Larne entertain Nayland, so that should be a good battle there. Llanybother 10th against Langham 11th, so that's a bottom of the table battle there. Langham have had a couple of poundings recently, and they'll be looking to put that right. A nice little fixture. St David's, who are 8th, play Pembroke Dock Harlequins, who are 9th. The Quins are playing quite well and should be higher than that. St David's have been playing well, And the last but not least, Tregaron, who are bottom, they're struggling badly to raise a team to travel every week. Are playing Haverfordwest in Tregaron. Haverfordwest are 5th and should be higher and will be higher. So lots of rugby this weekend. Let's hope it goes ahead, Tom.
Yes, let's hope that the fixtures all go ahead. Yeah. And then I think I've jumped the gun a little bit, going back to the round ball, West Wales Cup.
Yeah, well, last week there was a full programme of West Wales Cup. I don't think there's any matches in the West Wales Cup this week, although I might be wrong.
but the teams that we have got representing us are all through to the quarterfinals, aren't they?
Oh yeah, well they did really well. And on the subject of doing well, Tom, I forgot to mention, thanks, there's a little nudge for me there. In the rugby last weekend, four of our teams, youth teams, were playing in, there's three different sections, the cup for the top teams, then the plate, then the bowl to give everyone a chance. We had four teams last week, Narberth in the cup, we had Crimmock in the plate, and we had Langham and Whitland in the bowl, and they all blinking won. Some of them
Wow.
away. I mean, Narberth were playing Llandilo, who were a very, very strong side, were fancied, heavily fancied. And Narberth were 24-3 down, came back to 24 all, and won it by dint of the fact that they were same number of tries scored. They were the away team, so they won that. Crimmock played out of their skin to win 46-5. They're a good side. Langham were another side that came back and won well up in St. Julian's High School all the way to Newport, and they did well 18-17. And Whitland won 15-14. So all four of those are still in a draw. It makes you proud to be interested in rugby and youth at youth level in Pembrokeshire. Well done to all the coaches because they're doing a
Yeah.
brilliant job.
And the future's bright then as they go through those age grades and join the
Yeah,
senior teams
yeah,
is the
let's
hope, of
hope so.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
indeed.
fingers crossed. And then let's go indoors. Let's make it a bit warmer in here, shall we?
Yeah,
Men's indoor cricket. They've played twice this week.
yeah, they did. The reason for that, the Monday is the regular day for them. The women's have finished on Wednesday, so they caught up with the games that were postponed because everyone wanted to see Wales lose to England. So on the Monday night's games, I saw those. Pembroke are starting to look a good side. They got 148 for 3 and beat Pembrokeshire Vets A, who only had 70 for 6. And Jack Harris, 34, John Rogers, 51. He plays outside half for Narberth. But my
Oh
word, can
wow.
he hit a cricket ball? And he's a class act. He had 51 and Luke Butler, 26 not out. So easy win there by 78 runs. The second match, Huntledon were 82 all out. They've been playing in Division 5, but they're experienced in indoor. And they had 82, Craig Williamson, 35 not out. But they lost to another of the emerging teams, Hook, 88 for 3. And Liam Miller had 26 not out there. Match 3, Pembrokeshire Vets B, won a very good day. For the Vets teams, they're in 96 for 1. And they've got two old fogies there from St. Ishmael's who are brilliant. Stuart Carpenter and Kevin Bowen are two of the better players in the whole of the indoor. And remember age.
Yeah.
They're both long in the tooth, but they're 27 and 25 respectively, not out. Leighton O'Connor, who used to play rugby for Maesteg and other clubs at the top level, he's back after a long injury and he had 25 not out as well, so great to see that. But Burton got 97 for 2. Jack Davis and Toby Heyman, 25 apiece, retired, and Harry Owen, 23. So some good games there, Tom, and I'm pleased to
Yeah.
say, as always, played in a great spirit there. And then on
That's good.
Wednesday, there's a bit of a there were three sort of local derbies, if you like. Let's take my favourite one of those. Pembrokeshire Vets A were playing Pembrokeshire Vets B to see who gets the dragging rights there. Now, I think it's fair to say that the Pembrokeshire Vets A regard themselves as the top team. Well, they're a bit of a shock. They lost off the last ball of the whole game when my old friend who I used to teach, Ian Milsom, went in, needed one run to win, played it calmly into side net, and thank you very much. The B team won there. And one of the reasons they won again, I'll just say the Pembrokeshire Vets A, Carl Reid, another former pupil of mine, 27 not out, Alan Webster, 25 not out. The Vets B, Kevin Bowen, 25 not out, Stuart Carpenter, 30 not out again. And they both bowled miserly spells as well. So they're two players. They're both Welsh representative class. There's no doubt about the Stuart plays regularly for the Welsh Vets. So it was a win for the B team, so well done. Another local derby was Hook against Burton. I've enthused about both teams playing this year. They look in good size. But Hook slammed their opponents. They'd be delighted with that. 110 for 1, 55 all out. I don't know what happened with Burton. They had a dose of the blues, I would think. Hook's runs came from Liam Miller, 27, and his younger brother Lewis, 29. Both not out, and Owen Phelps, 26. Burton had 27 from Dan Ridge, but Lewis Miller completed a bit of a game, 27 not out, and then 3 for 8 bowling. His left arm quick, and he is quick. Bradley Flood had 2 for 21. And in the last game, Huntledon playing Pembroke, so a third local derby, really, a few miles down the road. Handler 105 for 5. Steph Williams 40 not out. Pembroke 106 for 3. Guess who? John Rogers again 37 not out. Luke Butler again 26 not out. Charlie Perkins 22 not out. The young fella. So well done to Pembroke there.
Yeah,
Interest in indoor cricket, and no doubt about it. Yeah, good.
it's
We'll see it improving.
yeah, it's great to have leagues where there's the wins are being shared amongst the different teams depending on the fixtures. It's good to see a competitive league, whether it's indoors or outdoors. That you want to have a challenge when you turn up on an evening, don't you?
Yeah, well, Patrick Hannon is split into 2 divisions, and they all play each other twice because they carry on their way into the new year as well, which is fantastic.
No.
And well done to Patrick for that. He does a great job. He was one of the scorers on Wednesday then to help out. He's doing a brilliant job after taking over from Peter Davis, who was equally as good before him. So the indoor league, men's and women's, has been brilliant this year.
Yeah, no, it really has been. It's been exciting to hear about it on a Friday. And if you're listening or watching this on our social media, if you're interested, well, the men's is going to continue into the new year. And if it's something that you want to pick up next year, I've no doubt that it's going to be even bigger and better than it has been this year. So get involved. So hopefully there'll be more sport over the weekend, weather permitting and whatnot. But it's important to remember that sport is only one aspect of life, isn't it, Bill?
Yeah, and there's been some sad moments this week, Tom, for sports enthusiasts because 3 lovely fellas have passed away. And I know when someone dies, we tend to say, oh, they're gentlemen and whatever it is. But these 3 really were gentlemen of sport and of life. You can tell Gordon Thomas wrote a lovely tribute on our website about Di Miller, who played a bit of rugby. He was hugely influential in Haverfordwest as an official and the county as an official. A lovely, lovely man, a great character. He loved his horse racing. That was his other passion. It was he who told Peter Morgan, when Peter Morgan got selected for the Lions, but didn't know, he bumped into Di in Haverfordwest. He said, oh, well done, Morgs, you're going to South Africa then? He said, what for? He said, you've been picked for the Lions. So Di will always hold a place in everyone's memory with that. Gordon Thomas, a lovely tribute on our website. The funeral's next Thursday in Prendergast Church, and it'll be a huge, huge crowd there, as they will down at Langham when Geoffrey Sace is buried the day after. That's Friday at 1 o'clock in Gilead Chapel, Langham. Jeff played cricket and rugby for Langham, and he'd tell you he wasn't the best player, but my word, did he contribute to that club. He was captain of Langham Rugby Seconds for many years. He was the first aid man there. He once was first aider, running onto the pitch to help 4 of his nephews, would you believe?
Oh, wow.
And one of them, Simon, told me when they went down and saw him coming up, they got up quickly because he tell them to toughen up. And Jeff is a lovely man. He was scorer with Langham for many years and was rightly made a life member. And Di Davis, who knows everything about Langham, told me Jeff was a good bloke. If Di says that, he was a good bloke. Yeah. And last but not least, Eddie Lewis, who played for Pembroke in the 60s and 70s. He was a very big, strong centre. One of 3 brothers, Ivor and Morgan, as well, played for the Scarlets there. And I think I'm right in saying he was the first player from the county ever to be selected for Welsh Junior Union Rugby, for second team rugby once he got, out of playing for the first for many, many years. And a lovely bloke. And we're going to have a tribute next week from Darryl Willington, who's the chairman of Pembroke RFC. And that will pay due tribute to a lovely man. So 3 great characters. And it makes you realise, we all only got a certain time and enjoy the sports part of it, enjoy playing, enjoy being part of it. With it.
And you mentioned you started off that, and of course our thoughts go out to all the families and friends and those affected. And it's thanks to these characters that the clubs that we go to week in, week out probably have the culture and that they have. It's thanks to these individuals that have gone through the ranks and have stayed there. It's,
That's right. All three will have set high standards because they had them. They led by example with us. So it's a great loss. 3 people I was very fond of. It's quite upsetting this week.
Yeah, no, it is upsetting. So make the most of the characters that you have in the clubhouse, and your friends and family, particularly at this time of year. And so, Bill, before I send you on your way, if you've got your beanie hat, where are you going to be this weekend?
Well, I'm under pressure to go to watch Newtown on Sunday.
Oh,
I'm saying it quietly because I don't want to wake Mrs. Carne up, but I am so tempted. There's a bus going and an old friend of mine who's taking his car up and he's got a space. I think I'll
Ooh.
probably turn it down because I'm going to be busy on Saturday, and
Okay.
it's nice to have time together. But I will probably watch on Saturday. I might go up to Fishguard to watch their rugby. Not only it's the nearest ground to me now, but it's got a stand if it's freezing cold, and you can get a cup of coffee
Oh,
nearby
nice.
at the excellent little cafe alongside. If Narberth were home, I would have gone to them, but I think it'll be Fishguard.
Nice.
But don't be surprised if I'm at Tenby or somewhere like that. Wherever I lay my hat, that'll be my home on Saturday afternoon.
That's where you'll be. So if you're out and about, keep your eyes peeled for Bill. He might just turn up at your ground. And it is Feel Good Friday, Bill. We're looking at song selections, and you've got another fantastic one for us this week.
Well, I'm always eager to show you and Gina when she's there. Good morning, Gina. Where are you? Hope you're well. The beauty of the 60s, because it was such an exciting time for me and Mrs. Carne. We loved the music. So this week you got Billy Fury, Halfway to Paradise, and he died. He had chest problems when he was about 31 and died. But his songs were epic and typified really what was good about 60s music. So Halfway to Paradise by Billy Fury.
That is on the way right here on Feel Good Friday. The time is 7:28. The Christmas extravaganza, the day number 9, is opening in just over a minute's time. Bill, as ever, thank you so much for your time this morning, and we'll catch up next week.
Yeah, keep warm, everybody. I am. Look at my... Do you like my coat?
Oh, it looks very, very stylish, but look at that.
Yeah, this is my sitting around the house coat, yeah.
I'll speak to you soon, Bill. Thank you.
Okay, Tom, take care. Bye-bye.
Feel Good Friday with Pem's Paving. Your one